Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is G. On my channel, I like to talk about the shady, predatory, and manipulative tactics of MLMs, also known as multi-level marketing businesses or schemes. And today we're going to be continuing a series where we go and look at the BBB complaints, or the Better Business Bureau complaints that have been lodged against a specific multi-level marketing business. In today's video, we are going to be heading over to the page of none other than Herbalife. Herbalife is an MLM that I've talked about before on my channel. It tends to prey on the Latino community, on underprivileged people, on people of color, and they have really shady tactics and also products that have been found to have made people sick before in the past. If Herbalife is an MLM that you are interested in hearing a little bit more about, I'm going to link a playlist up there somewhere that has a few more Herbalife videos that you can check out that I've done here on my channel. One little disclaimer that I do want to make about the Better Business Bureau is that it is a private nonprofit company, so it is not a governmental agency. Businesses that participate as members have to purchase their way in, so it's difficult to say whose side that they're exactly on. Are their interests aligned with the businesses that they give membership to, or are their interests aligned with the consumers who report these complaints? Who can really say? Nonetheless, I do find it interesting to come on to the BBB and check out these complaints. For me, it feels like going on Yelp, like when you want to go eat at a new place or a new restaurant, but you're not really sure how it is, so you go check on Yelp. That's kind of how I see the Better Business Bureau, so I like to come here and kind of check on these MLMs and see what they're up to. So let's go ahead now and let's jump right in. Here we are on the Better Business Bureau webpage for Herbalife, and something that's interesting that I did not see on the Beachbody website when I was looking at the Beachbody complaints is that they have this section here at the top before you can see anything else that says additional business information, government actions. So the Better Business Bureau really wants us to see these notes before we see anything else. And what this says here, and it dates it back to September 27th, 2019, is that there has been a settlement agreement that has been formally brought by a government agency. A government agency has basically called Herbalife out. That is not the first or the last time. I'm sure that Herbalife will be called out by a governmental agency. So this is what it says. The Securities and Exchange Commission today announced that Herbalife Nutrition Limited, a direct selling company with operations in over 90 countries, has agreed to pay $20 million to settle charges that it made false and misleading statements about its China business model in numerous U.S. regulatory filings over a 6-year period. So over a 6-year period, the SEC pretty much found Herbalife guilty of making false and misleading statements about their China business model. And then this goes on to further say, without admitting or denying the SEC's findings, Herbalife consented to their order, finding that it violated certain anti-fraud and reporting provisions of the federal securities laws. So basically, hey, we're not going to admit any wrongdoing, but we're going to settle this with you so that we can get back to business as usual. The SEC's order requires Herbalife to cease and desist from further violations of the charge provisions and to pay a $20 million penalty. And it has a link here for the full press release. I'm going to go ahead and show a quick picture of what the article looks like, and I will include the link below. But my friends, that is not the only thing that is posted here on this government action section. This is dated from August 28th, 2020, and it says the Securities and Exchange Commission today announced that Herbalife Nutrition Limited has agreed to pay more than $67 million, which to me and you probably is like, oh my gosh, that's so much money, but to Herbalife is probably chump change because they are like a multi-billion-dollar company. So they agreed to pay more than $67 million to settle charges that it violated the books and records and internal accounting control provisions of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. The Foreign Corrupt Practices Act makes it unlawful to corruptly make a payment or gift, or offer or promise to pay or make a gift of money or anything of value directly to foreign government officials, foreign political parties or officials, officials of public international organizations, for example, WHO or the World Health Organization, or indirectly to such persons through an intermediary while knowing that the payment or gift will be passed on. In a parallel action, the U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York today. So now you have 3 agencies here. You have the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, then you have the U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Attorney's Office, who have Herbalife in their crosshairs. The DOJ and the Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York today announced that Herbalife will pay a criminal fine of more than $55 million for a total of more than $123 million paid in both actions. Now, this is the part that is really interesting because it specifically talks about the actions that Herbalife subsidiaries in China did. The SEC's order finds that Herbalife's Chinese subsidiaries made payments and provided meals, gifts, and other benefits to Chinese officials in connection with obtaining sales licenses, curtailing government investigations of Herbalife China, and removing negative coverage of Herbalife China in state-owned media. As set forth in the order, Herbalife China managers asked employees to falsify expense documents in an effort to conceal the improper payments. The order finds that Herbalife executives received reports of high travel and entertainment spending in China and violation of Herbalife's internal FCPA policies, FCPA, which harkens back to Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. The order further finds that the improper payments and benefits were recorded inaccurately in Herbalife's books and records, and that Herbalife failed to devise and maintain a sufficient system of internal accounting controls. I'm going to include some links and some information about this below, but to kind of summarize it, Herbalife was really trying to get going in China and open up their multi-level marketing direct selling system over there, but the Chinese people were kind of like not having it. So in order to try to make it happen, there were these bribes, there were these falsifying of documents, and amazingly, they are being held accountable for that. I think that's really great that they're being held accountable, and I really look forward to continue seeing that same level of accountability here in the United States and in other countries as well, because this is a multinational, multi-billion-dollar company, and the more countries it has a hold of, the worse it is for the human race, in my opinion, allegedly. So now that we have got those governmental actions out of the way, let's go ahead and just get to the customer reviews, customer complaints, and of course, seeing what the BBB in their almighty wisdom has decided to rate this company. First of all, the customer reviews, I see that we have an average of 2.33 stars out of 5. I don't know about you all, but for me, I would say that is an F. I don't know. You let me know. And we have some customer complaints as well that we're going to be reading. But what is really funny to me here is that the BBB has given Herbalife a rating of, you want to guess? A+. Yep, makes total sense. Not to us, but I'm sure there's someone that this makes sense to. But of course, the BBB have their disclaimer there to remind us that the customer reviews are not used in the calculation of BBB rating. Well, BBB, a little suspicious, I have to say, but I at least appreciate that we are still able to go and read the reviews. So let's come on over here and let's check out the reviews. When I was searching for Herbalife on the BBB, there was actually a lot of options that had popped up. So this may not even be the main page for Herbalife. This could just be one of the pages that are being used to collect this data or these complaints against Herbalife. But regardless, I still want to look through the customer complaints and the reviews. To start, I like taking a quick scroll through the reviews to see how recent they are. With Beachbody, we saw that the reviews were fairly recent, which means that like right now, a lot of people are really having issues with that MLM. And right here, the reviews that I'm seeing are also somewhat recent. I'm seeing one from April 2022, October 2021. As I keep scrolling, I see that it's actually, December 2020. So these are not as recent as the Beachbody ones, but let's see what kind of things customers are saying. So this person said on April 23rd, 2022, my taxes were rejected due to an error on my Herbalife 1099 form. I contacted them immediately to fix the problem, and it took them 3 weeks to send me a corrected form. If there's one thing that is really annoying, it's when you have to meet deadlines or you have to get things turned in and you have done everything you can to prepare your documents or to prepare your application, but then there's something else holding you up that you really have no control over. And in this case, this person, they contacted them immediately, but Herbalife took 3 weeks in order to send a form that probably could have been sent and delivered within a week, maybe? Or less? I was originally told it would take 5 business days to receive the corrected form. When I never received it, I called and was told I had to submit a W-9 form, which I had done already on the phone with a rep. I went ahead and repeated the process and waited another 5 business days, only to not receive my corrected form and to have to repeat this process about 4 times, filling out the form on the phone with a rep, waiting again, and still nothing. I ultimately ended up exceeding the window period the IRS gave me to resubmit documents because of all of this, and now have no idea when I'm going to receive my income tax. That is horrible, and especially this was from April of this year. We are still feeling the effects of the pandemic. Like now more than ever, people need to have their tax refunds. People need to have that money available to them so that they can use it. So this is like really messed up, because not only does Herbalife not really give you much in terms of income or wages, but now they're actually standing in the way of you getting back money that is yours, that you deserve to have, that you're entitled to. The worst part was continuously receiving mixed information from the customer service reps, doing everything I was asked to do, and them telling me they didn't receive any form, or that I needed to sign manually, which I did, and then having them tell me it needed to be electronic. It's just everyone was passing the buck here. It was a huge mess that took entirely too long to resolve, and I am the one paying the consequences. That's really messed up here. And then Herbalife responded, and they have a very generic response here, and it says, information was forwarded to the corresponding team for support. If you have any questions or further concerns, do not hesitate to reach out to us and we will gladly assist you. And then the original customer who posted this complaint responded. I love this. They said, it would have been nice to have been assisted in a timely and effective manner, not having to wait 3 weeks for a document and have my taxes delayed. And usually you'll see something on these BBB complaints that says, that this has been resolved or that this has been worked through. I'm not seeing anything here, so I really hope that this person was able to get the form that they needed, get their tax refund. And I also hope that this showed them this is not the type of company that you should be doing business with. If you are waiting on them to give you something that you need and they are making it super challenging and creating extra obstacles and giving you mixed information and not being there to support you, maybe it's the time to look at this critically and say, think I should walk away. By the way, I forgot to mention that review that I just read was 1 star. So now I'm going to read the next review that's here, which was from October 4th, 2021. And are you really that surprised if I tell you that it was also 1 star? But let's go ahead. I was looking into possibly being an Herbalife consultant, but I realized that I would never be able to be one because filling out the form, it only gave me the option between male and female. Being non-binary, I am neither of those. I can't be a part of a company that is not gender inclusive. If you're not going to be in support of the LGBTQA+ community, then I'm sorry. I can't represent you. So you lost a potential consultant because your company wants to go with a gender binary. So you can go and expletive yourself. I love that this person stood up for themselves, and I love that this person had the courage to say, no, I'm walking away. If you're not going to acknowledge me and respect me as who I am, I don't want to be a part of your community. I think that's amazing, and I want that for everybody in this world, to have the strength to walk away from things if you are not going to be treated with the respect and dignity that you deserve. So I surely hope that this person is doing better things and not involved in another multi-level marketing scheme. Now, the next review is also a 1-star rating. This is from December 2020, and they said, liars, no 100% refunds honored, gave me $10 for an $80 product, provided everything that they asked for, and revived confirmation to say it was only $10 and implied it's my fault. I think they meant to say received confirmation. Said I should have said something. No way to contact them. No way to contact them is via email. Even then, they're rude. That's a bummer here. And it's also a really good example of what a lot of MLM companies do, is that they will try to entice you to purchase their products or join their company, and they will say,
oh, we have this great refund policy. Don't even worry. It's risk-free. Just try it out, and if it doesn't work out, we'll refund you, and it'll be like you never lost anything.
But then when it actually comes time to give those refunds to people, they will find any excuse they can. Maybe they're going to take way too long getting back to you, so then suddenly you're outside of the window when you can be given your refund. Or instead of giving you the full amount for your products, they're just going to give you a fraction of it. So really, it's a way to entice you to purchasing the products or joining the company as a consultant, but a lot of times it ends up being false advertising, and it's really hard to make them honor their promise of that full refund. And then what's interesting here is we do have 2 5-star reviews, so I will read those to be impartial. So this person in September 2020 said, coaches seek to give you the best advice to your goals. Using their products, I lost so much weight and truly feel so happy and confident with myself. That's awesome, and I'm really glad that this person has lost a lot of weight and now they're feeling happy and confident with themselves. But I wonder if they could have achieved similar results or something similar with not having to join Herbalife or not having to use Herbalife products, because what I have found is that Herbalife has a very kind of strict policy where it's a extreme caloric deficit. So even though you're using their products, you're just restricting yourself so much that naturally you're going to be losing a lot of weight. So people can attribute this amazing weight loss to Herbalife products, when in reality it's just because you're probably eating substantially less than you were before. And also the coaches, aka the consultants, just because they are coaches or consultants does not necessarily mean that they have a background in physical fitness or physiology or health and wellness or any other type of field that deals with physical fitness. I'm blanking on all of them right now. Put them below if you have those words in your mind. What are those other professions that deal with that? Dietitian, nutritionist? Help me out here. There was another 5-star review and it said, great product, very transparent. Everything listed in respect to ingredients on their products. Our coach is great, no pressure at all, very helpful, and provides a great amount of support and is always available. The product tastes great, and I personally have seen results as advertised. So again, like, how much of that really needed to happen because of the Herbalife products, and how much did you actually make happen on your own? And also, do Herbalife coaches or do MLM coaches in general like ever have their downline like, hey, I want you as a homework assignment to go to the BBB and leave a positive review about our business? Like, I've always wondered if that's something that they have their employees do in order to kind of offset all of the negative feedback. But I want to go ahead and just read one more review from this section, and then I want to see a few of the complaints. And this one is from February 2020. It's a 1-star review, and it says, the business setup is literally you get people under you by lying about what the products do to your body and then throw them out there without training for you to sit there and make hundreds of dollars doing absolutely nothing. Whoa, they did not hold anything back. Love it. After having health issues of being an ambassador for 3 years, I went to the doctor to find out the amount of soy you consume from drinking the shakes completely messes up your hormones and can prevent you from losing weight. So side note, in one of the Herbalife videos that I did, the one where I talk about Kamala Harris's connection and her kind of lack of action against Herbalife, I also talk about how a lot of Herbalife products and ingredients have been linked to liver problems and like liver failure. So it doesn't surprise me at all that we're seeing someone here commenting about the actual products themselves and not just about the business model. The only reason people lose weight is because having 2 shakes a day instead of meals means you are not eating enough food and therefore in a calorie deficit. I also have issues with my cortisol as well because their tea that's apparently safe caused my adrenal gland to stop producing cortisol in the mornings. I'm so much healthier now that I'm not on these horrible products. Let's take a detour to WebMD and learn more about cortisol. What is cortisol? Think of cortisol as nature's built-in alarm system. It's your body's main stress hormone. It works with certain parts of your brain to control your mood, motivation, and fear. Your adrenal glands, triangle-shaped organs at the top of your kidneys, make cortisol. Cortisol plays an important role in a number of things your body does. For example, it manages how your body uses carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, keeps inflammation down, regulates your blood pressure, increases your blood sugar, glucose, controls your sleep-wake cycle, and boosts energy so you can handle stress and restores balance afterward. Now I want to go and see what specifically are the side effects from having too little cortisol because this customer said that she was having trouble producing cortisol. If your body doesn't make enough of this hormone, you have a condition doctors call Addison's disease. Usually the symptoms appear over time. They include changes in your skin, like darkening on scars and in skin folds, being tired all the time, muscle weakness that grows worse, diarrhea, nausea, and vomiting, loss of appetite and weight, and low blood pressure. It's clear to see that having too little cortisol really is going to negatively impact someone's life. Imagine being tired all the time, not being able to eat, having a weight that's fluctuating, having diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, having changes to your skin. All of these are horrible side effects that nobody should have to experience just because they want to lose some weight. So this is just another reason why it's helpful to come onto the Better Business Bureau website and just read what people have said, not just about the business and the business model, but about the products themselves. It's one thing to be a part of an MLM and use products or sell products, but if they're not really outwardly hurting you, it's not as bad compared to products that might actually have really devastating health effects. Like for example, I used Rodan & Fields for a while, right? Luckily, I didn't have any adverse skin irritations or things happening with my eyes. Like I saw some horror stories about that. So I'm really thankful for that. But imagine, signing up for Herbalife and consuming these products thinking that you are taking your health back and you are going to work towards a better you, only to find out that it's actually causing you to become sick. So Herbalife did take the time to respond to this person, so I do want to read what they said. So they said, as part of our sincerest commitment to product quality and safety, Herbalife Nutrition has in place a robust global post-market surveillance program to collect and properly assess any adverse complaint as we become aware of it. Our post-market surveillance processes include a comprehensive review of all cases, including in-depth causality assessments, applying World Health Organization's criteria, and other globally recognized causality assessment criteria as is appropriate or specific to the reported system, organ class involved. Okay, this is like a lot of in my opinion. What are they really saying here? They're just saying, hey, we're going to continue to take data on these sort of side effects. They're not even saying sorry. They're not even saying we acknowledge that you're not doing well. No. It's just like, we're going to keep collecting feedback on this. We need to really make sure. Therefore, we encourage consumers to share their negative health experiences with the company so that we can evaluate them and provide guidance that will help them discuss health concerns with their healthcare providers. So right there, it's putting the onus onus back on you, the consultant, or you, the customer who's ingesting these products. Let us Herbalife help you have those conversations with your doctor about what you're doing wrong in your life. But it's not our products, it's totally you. That's just the vibe I'm getting here. Additionally, should you have questions related to the marketing plan or the training responsibilities of a sponsor, our member services department can be contacted at this number. No accountability, which doesn't surprise me. Like, what are they going to say? Sorry, our products are making you sick? No, they can't say that. The customer responded back to them, and this is what they said. I've already contacted your customer service numerous times on my issues with distributors and what they are telling to customers. I also had proof that was sent in my messages from my own upline, and I was told a complaint was filed and I would be followed up with, and never was there ever time. If you can send me the link to report what your horrible products did to my body and how I'm suffering and paying for testing, I would gladly do that, as I have enough proof to take it to court. And then they responded back one more time and said, you can reach our adverse event reporting department by email at... It doesn't really show us what the email is. Once your email is received, we can correspond with you via email or arrange a telephone call. One other thing that's just kind of interesting is that instead of saying, no, what are you talking about? Our products are completely safe. You could never have some sort of negative health reaction with our products. They're more like, yeah, that might happen. We're kind of just like going with the flow, collecting info right now. So just let us know. It's like they're kind of not super surprised by it, in my opinion. So this video is already going to be a little bit long, so let me just go and just like quickly skim through the complaints to see if there's anything that is like really interesting that I want to talk about. Something that I noticed after the Beachbody video was that the BBB has this section on the customer complaints page where it just breaks it down. What are the different categories of the complaints and how many per category? So for Herbalife, what's really interesting to see is that the majority of their complaints are in the category of problem with a product or service. In that section, they have 15 complaints, whereas in the other ones, for example, advertising and sales, they have 3. Billing and collections, they have 1 complaint. Delivery issues, 4 complaints. You can really tell that problem with a product or their service is the area where they have the most issues. So let's just go ahead and skim really quickly to see how recent they are. A few of these complaints do look like they happened in 2022, and then we also have a fair amount from 2021 and onward. And I'm going to include this link below if you kind of want to check this out on your own and see some of these reviews. I specifically really want to look at the problem with a product or service because I kind of want to see if there's anyone else who has had negative health issues because of ingesting their products. So let's see here. I want to look at... Let's check this one out. This is April 2021 customer complaint. I requested a refund a month ago on a product that made me physically ill, and I have yet to receive this. I was sold misleadingly on the safety of these products. I became physically ill after consumption and missed work due to this. The day of stopping the product, I was back to normal. When inquiring about a refund, they told me the distributor would issue my refund same day. I have now been waiting for a month. This is ridiculous. I have reached out multiple times with no clear answer as to when I will receive my refund. And it looks like after that, this person was given a refund just based off of the responses by Herbalife. For example, here it says, customer has been assisted with a refund. Check was processed by finance department on April 7th. In addition, we spoke to the customer on April 12th and provided her the update. Oh, wait, but look at this. It says here, the customer indicated that he or she did not accept this response from the business. I would like them to also note how long this process took and how painful this process was. I also had an agent state that he could direct deposit my refund, but nobody gave me this option and instead had me wait a month for a check. They also gave me wrong information on who was processing my refund, them or the distributor. They said they counseled her on this matter, but I would just appreciate acknowledgement for my frustration, which I think is very common. Like when we've been wronged by people or businesses or corporations. I'll just speak from my personal experience. I had something happen that I can't talk in detail about because we actually did end up settling with them after a very long drawn out process. But at the end of the day, the thing that I wanted more than a check or more than a repair to something that had been damaged was just an acknowledgement of, hey, I'm sorry. This could have been different. We could have made this easier. We could have handled this differently. We apologize. That acknowledgement would have gone such a long way. So I really, really resonate with what this person said. Just appreciate and acknowledge the frustration that you caused in my life. Herbalife did get back to this comment, but this is what they said. We thank you for your feedback and will relay the information to corresponding teams. This in turn will go into consideration in our internal processes. So basically it's like a screw, like in my opinion, it's like a screw you. It's like, okay, like I don't care. We're gonna say that we're writing this down, but really it's gonna go nowhere. So I'm seeing that this video is already becoming quite long. Longer than I'm comfortable with for right now. So I'm going to just give a summary of what it looks like. And it looks like we have a lot of complaints about their customer service, about being misinformed as to when refunds will happen, about not receiving orders correctly or receiving orders that you never wanted and not being able to get the money for. So really not great. Just not looking great. I think I'm just going to go ahead and end the video right there. We didn't get to go into too great detail on a lot of the different complaints, but it was really interesting seeing how Herbalife is being held accountable for their bribery and their shady practices that are happening in China. I would love to see that energy here in the United States as well, and in other countries where Herbalife is, active and recruiting. And also, I just want to say once again that I really appreciate these people coming forward with their experiences, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to shine a light on what these businesses do. And the more that we are aware, the more we can be there for our friends and family, kind of help guide them away from these types of businesses. If you're still here, thank you so much for sticking around. If you are not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe if you want to, no pressure. And also don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It would be super cool and I would really appreciate you for it. Yeah, thanks again and I will see you in the next one. Have a really good night and bye-bye. I know how to turn it off this time. Uh-oh.